Mr. Aaron Hammonds. Good to see you, my brother. We got Rural Gardens tonight, man. Should be a great show. How are you, sir? I started a little early. We got some stuff going on with TikTok, Ezra, and whatnot. So give it a few minutes to run up before we actually start. What's up, Chipster? Good to see you, brother. Looking forward to your bit today. Heard that, Aaron. Yeah, man. I hope the healing is fast. Right on, Chipster. I hope I don't lose my voice, which is good. Rule knows what he's talking about. He don't need me. I snuck up on Haley and Ashman and all them, though, because I'm on a little early. Heard that, Aaron. Heard that, my brother. Some days we're just trying to hang in there. So Chipster's going to come on. Hey, Fire Puppet. Chipster's going to come on in a little while and give us a little intro photography lesson. Good to see everybody. We're going to have Rural Gardens on this evening. I started a little earlier. I'm supposed to do a little run-up before the show because of some stuff that's going on with Ezra and TikTok and whatnot. So I just popped on a little early to give it a few minutes, and then we should get our co-host showing up, and the best MC out there, Haley Beth. Got a custom SA Artistry shirt she had made for me. This raven is on that piece she did for my wife and I, right back there. And now she's got merch, and I got stickers and stuff with it on it too. It's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah. SA should be a link to SA in my link tree, but she's got some new merch. But she got this shirt, and then she had it printed out, and it wasn't the way she wanted it, so she painted it. It's actually a hand-painted SA Artistry shirt. That's pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. There's my dude right there. Uh-oh, I'm going to have to figure out get this all balanced back out here. That ain't going to work. Ashman's way too pretty to be in that small a box. Let's see about right here. Let's see about right there. Oh, man, that didn't help. Ashman's still tiny. Still tiny Ashman.
Hey, Aaron. How's it going, man? Fire Puppet?
Let's see here. There we go. That makes it where it's not tiny Ashman.
How's it going, man?
Beth.
Oh, man.
How are you, brother? How are you? I started just a little bit early because, we're supposed to do a little bit of run-up. So I was making a little bit of time there. Let's see, get Haley. And I'm hoping our buddy Chad is still with us. I haven't talked to him in a few days.
He's got to be better, right?
I'm hoping he's...
Haley died.
I'm hoping he survived. Hey, Haley, how you doing?
I'm trying to be...
I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. I can't get y'all bigger for some reason.
Doing well.
If you see Chad, scoop him up. If anybody happens to see Chad. Hey, Haley, we're trying to get everybody in here and everything situated. How are you doing?
Hey, Chad just came in.
Yeah?
I'll wait.
Are you able to scoop him up?
No, I can't. I don't have any mod things on here right now.
You don't have any mod things?
No.
I got you.
What happened?
I don't know.
I brought Chad up. Again, I brought Chad up.
Thank you, Haley. I appreciate it.
Mic check. 1, 2.
There he is.
Let me know when you're ready.
I will do that, Haley. I sure will. I'm just looking real quick. Ashman, you're a mod,
Yeah.
and everything is turned on.
Oh, there we go. That's weird.
Hey,
You can do everything, man. I mean, it's
roll
all
like
on.
him.
That's weird. It didn't let me do it for a minute.
All right.
TikTok.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do, y'all. Now that we got it all sorted out, we're gonna put Miss Haley in the big box. She's kind of wound up today. She's ready to go.
Oh,
So,
no. Are you on one today, Haley?
We're gonna turn
Yep,
it
there
over to
it
Haley
is.
for a minute and hope we survive it. What's going on, Haley? How you doing, little sis?
Good. Hi, start now?
Sure.
Hi, welcome to the Gen Project Show. My name is Haley Beth, owner of Haley Dot. I'm a diamond dot artist. I have a show Friday nights at 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tonight's highlighted guest is not Chippity Chip. And tonight's featured guest is not only but Roll Gardens. Take it away, Given.
Yes. Thank you, Haley.
Yeah.
Woo! Haley
Roll,
Beth.
did you like it? You like it?
Yes. 6
Good
o'clock
job, Haley.
p.m. on Friday nights. You can find Miss Haley Beth. Usually you find some of us there hanging out with her, stirring up trouble. She's usually doing her
You-
diamond dot art and trying to keep everybody from acting a fool.
Roll,
Yeah.
I'm pumped.
She's pumped up to see Rule Gardens. I
Yeah,
love this.
she is.
I love it.
And not only but my friend Chippity Chip.
And you know who's going to be on next week? Who the featured guest next week is, Miss
My
Haley?
Well,
Who that?
you gonna
Bird.
tell us?
The painting DJ / my brother Virja.
Yo!
What? Get outta here.
All Haley's people showing up. All Haley's people
Yeah.
showing up over here.
Oh,
Y'all, Miss Haley Beth here has a show on Friday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. She
Hey,
is a
I'm
diamond dot
changing
artist.
it up a little bit. I might have something new, or I might be showing something different.
And you got to be
All
careful
right.
because she'll put you in the basement.
that's right.
Or
In the dungeon.
or I'll put whoever that doesn't show up to my show in the basement.
Uh-oh, Chad.
Catch you
Uh-oh.
up.
Well, thank you so much, Miss Haley Beth. You have a wonderful show. Please run things in the chat. If we can, we're going to get you at some point here to send Chipster up. I'll let you know when. And then we're going to get you to send up Mr. Rule Gardens, if you please. I would like to say hello to my brother Ashman, my brother Chad. We were taking odds, dude. Hold on. Let's put this guy up in here. Come on now. There he is, ladies
Oh,
and gentlemen.
hell
The
no.
Chad Rev Art. Hadn't seen a lot of him lately. We thought that he may have
Nope.
passed on to oblivion, but it appears that he is still with us. Chad, it is good to see you, my brother. Ashman,
Man,
it's a miracle.
It's good to
He
see
is
y'all.
back from outer space.
It. Hallelujah.
Now, y'all don't
I had to
know
go back
this.
to my home galaxy.
Well,
What?
Ashman's been on a bit of a trip. See, Chad was very sick, and we couldn't talk about this because of the Intergalactic Council and all that kind of stuff. But Chad was very, very sick. So Ashman was tasked to go back to their planet and bring back some of the good stuff that they got that will kill the sickness, because antibiotics won't touch what Chad had. So Ashman had to personally go get on his craft, go all the way back home, which takes a bit of time and it ages him a little bit. But he is back. He has saved Chad
Yeah.
Rev Art. And
know,
maybe
right?
he'll be doing lives carving again soon, possibly.
Very soon. You know, even us intergalactic folk, we have home inspections and we have farm work. And sometimes we leave our galaxy and go to another one and do artwork for too long, and we got to go back and do our intergalactic farm work and get it caught up, especially when there's going to be an intergalactic inspection for the new insurance. So, you know, it's
Yes.
a lot of, well, you can't even really call it jet lag. It's more like ship lag. but
So-
you get the.
So
you
has
get
the man
idea.
shown up yet?
No, no.
Have
no,
you
no, he
negotiated
hasn't,
with the
you know?
man?
No, no. I am gonna have my vaporizer Ray with me, so I might be a little bit daunting to argue with on the whole thing.
A
We'll
little
see.
twitchy? A little twitchy?
Yeah. Yep. Big old pain in the butt.
Well,
That's what
it's
I'll
good
do.
to see you, brother. I'm happy that
Yeah,
you're
man.
here. This other amazing co-host that we have, we're going to hear more from Chad Revart, is Ashman. And For those that don't know, Ashman has a show on Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, Ashman's Basic Art Show. It's really phenomenal. He talks about some cool stuff. There's always interesting topics, and he's just all around
Yes.
generally a fun dude to be around. I would know. I'm fortunate. I get to hang around with him a little bit. And then he also has man, he stole my hat. Look at that. That's the one Dizzy did the artwork on. He also has a podcast, ladies and gentlemen, called Genteel Poverty. I would highly, highly recommend that you go check it out. His wife is a brilliant lady. He's a much similar situation than me. My wife is brilliant. I'm an idiot. And I understand that.
Somehow I get by.
Chad's in the same boat.
We're okay though.
Ash, you got any words of wisdom for us, my brother?
Don't start none, won't be none.
Yo,
All
prove
right.
it. Message.
Loud and clear, sir. I don't plan on starting anything with you, man. It's all
Message.
good. It's all good.
That's the only thing that came to mind. I was like, oh, I don't know.
Don't start that. So
That's
the
gospel, though.
attire that I'm wearing tonight, gentlemen, you may notice is a little different than normal. This is an Aaron Hammonds hat. My brother
Yeah.
Aaron Hammonds has been going through some stuff with him and his family. So I'm wearing some Aaron Hammonds swag, hoping we can send some good mojo and some good love his way. He was
Aaron
in the
Hammond's in the
chat.
house.
Please make sure to say hey to our brother Aaron Hammonds. I also have a custom SA artistry shirt. And I'm so excited.
Oh,
This shirt she had printed out, and it's the raven or the crow, raven, in the painting that she did for my wife and I. So she took a personal piece here. The raven out of it is now one of her stickers that are available. You can find her in my link tree. But so she had me a shirt made with the raven on it and her logo.
I saw
And
that
then,
before
Chad,
you did.
And then
I saw it
Chad,
before
she
you did.
hand
Ha ha.
painted it. She hand painted it. She wasn't happy with the first print the way it looked, so she
Yeah.
went back with acrylic paint and hand painted it.
That is amazing.
So
Yeah,
SA Artistry swag is available, and the raven is from the raven in that piece right there on the wall.
You see
And
that with Mama T. We have that at the gallery too, she says.
whoop,
yes,
There you go.
go to the gallery and get some.
here are some of her raven stickers. And I've also got a bag of SA Artistry swag that I was able to get down when she was winning her contest again. And your host, Chad Rev Art, was crushing it. I couldn't hear anything. I know he was talking smack about me, but that's awesome. That's what he was supposed
Whole
to be
time.
doing. So I was having
I was
trouble
calling you
hearing,
Pickle
buddy.
Gin the whole time.
Pickle Gin. Like Pickle Rick.
Yeah, like Pickle
So-
Rick. You had that dill pickle color shirt on. I was like, it's Pickle Gin.
Pickle Gin. Pickle Gin. Oh, yeah, mirrored. I'm going to unmirror this so that maybe it'll
Nope.
be better. But here's
go.
all kinds of SA
What up,
Artistry
Mascara?
stickers. What up, Texas? How's it going,
Thanks,
Mascara?
freak.
Check these out. You might see me wearing that shirt sometimes.
That is a really cool one. That's one of my
So we
favorites.
have all kinds of SA Artistries giveaway swag for. We're gonna do some subscriber giveaway stuff. We're gonna do some just regular old giveaway stuff. Look at these cicadas, man.
Those are cool.
Oh, see, right there's my
And I-
favorite. Yours is the
And I'm
Raven.
telling, and I'm taking.
That's my
I'm
favorite
taking-
right there.
I'm taking a little time. SA isn't in here right now, but SA busted her butt on that piece, and it was absolutely
Yeah.
incredible. It was absolutely fantastic.
I'm having the struggle with that sticker, and I think some of you guys will know. It's such a cool sticker, I can't put it on anything. It belongs on everything and nowhere simultaneously.
Yes, I can't use the ones Ash sent me either, man. It's funny.
Yeah.
Like I want to leave the sticky part on the back. So we
Yeah.
got we got some really cool stuff here.
Vibes.
And I'm so
What up,
proud of SA. The piece that she did was nothing short of spectacular. The people there in person, their mouths were falling open when they saw it. Some of the other artists in there, all of them were good, but some of it was really, really good. But Essays was next level. Essays was on a whole nother planet.
For those of you who weren't there, he's bragging on it, but he has yet to tell you. She got best of show. Sorry.
Yes.
Which, for those of you who don't know, is above first place. We always joke about her getting firster, and first.
She figured out a way to get something better than that.
She figured out how to get the first rest, and she
First
did it.
wrist. I love it.
And then on top of that,
And
can I announce what she found out while she was there? Can I do that?
why
You
not?
wanna
I
do
think
that?
y'all did it
You
live.
do it.
We
Yeah.
did it.
You do it.
We did it live.
You tell them. Well, there's people here that might not know.
You tell them. You got to hear it better than I did. Talk about it.
Oh, guys, in September. Oh no, you make me big.
Are we going?
Is that
Are
better?
we going? Yes.
better?
Much better. Much
Man,
better.
I want to really
I'm
bad.
listening.
Guys,
I'm
listen, in
listening.
September, there's a really, really good chance that some of your boys here are going to be over in Atlanta because our dearest sister, SA Artistries, was offered and accepted a solo show at the gallery that she's been showing at there and winning every single frickin' time. What up, Severed?
A solo
So yeah,
show,
in September,
Severed.
she's solo show from SA Artistries, guys. Get ready, put your pennies together, get your walking shoes on, your thumb stretched out, whatever you need to do.
I'll be
But,
there.
get ready for September because at least Glenn will be there because he's closer. If I can get my feathers numbered, maybe I can figure it out. We'll definitely
Yeah,
be doing
Rule.
lives from there. So,
It's in Marietta.
yeah.
It's just north
Marietta.
of Atlanta. You don't even have to go all the way into Atlanta proper, Rule. I'll be going. I just came back. We
Yeah.
just came back from there. So if you want to go,
Yeah.
man.
Heart and
work
Soul
something out.
Gallery over there. Yeah, right.
We'll talk about it. He's
So
going to be on the show
yeah,
tonight.
that's going to be in September. So there's a really cool announcement for y'all who didn't know about our sis
Hey,
and
Quincy.
our homie and our. I don't know, what do you call the person who takes you hostage? Your kidnapper? I don't
Well,
know.
I
She
believe
I
that
do have
we
pictures.
I think we have Stockholm syndrome, so I don't
That's
think we're
what I
allowed
was
to
gonna
say.
Yeah.
I don't think
Maybe.
we're allowed to say because it's affected us. We actually really like her, and she's the one that's basically kidnapped us. So
Yeah, I have screenshots of her holding
knife
you
point.
at knife point.
yeah,
I do have
yeah.
that now,
She,
guys.
she
I
makes
do
me
have
wear
receipts.
this stuff and say nice things about her. She forces
Yes.
me to.
Yes.
I'm scared of my wife and SA Artistries, and maybe a little bit of Severed art. Maybe
Yeah.
just a
Hey,
little
Severed. By the way, your email was received by my father-in-law, who's quite boomerish, and it was because he didn't realize it was supposed to go to my wifey, who handles all the artists that I send over that way. So my wife will be stepping in, and I don't know if he was all boomery or whatever, but there you go, Severed. Any of you guys, it's the same thing. If you go through my wife's printing company and you get a boomer response, either give it a moment or tell me, and I'll make sure that it gets pushed over to my wife instead of my boomer father-in-law. Well, yeah,
Heard
you
that.
guys get it. You guys get it.
That's awesome. We're running a little behind, but luckily we got Chip and Rule on, and they both are good with it. So, please make sure to give the boomer alert if you need to Mr. Rev Art here, and he'll get all that stuff squared away. Make sure it all gets done right. Good to
Got you,
see you,
Severed.
Moose. I got a thing in here. I got something for you, Moose. I got something for you, buddy. Hi, Moose.
Oh, Moose.
Hope you're doing all right, big dog. So we got a lot of friends. We got Kira Wilson Art, who was on live earlier today on this live or Gen Project Live, and she's got some medical stuff going on. So we need to show her some love. She's got some concerns. She's got some tests she's waiting on. Has to do with some vessels in her head and her eyesight, and with everything that's happened with Wandering Nevada Soul. We want to make sure to show some love. I saw a post from Wandering. He's out in Cali, hopefully getting some help for that other eye. So please keep him in your thoughts. We got Chipster on the move. Chipster's got a lot going on in his life. He's going to be on here in just a few minutes. He's going to teach us a little bit about some photography. I hope y'all will show some love for my man Chipster. And then we got Chuck Franklin, who's in the chat, and I'm hoping he's going to tell us he does not have a broken ankle. But earlier, he was at the hospital with a potentially broken ankle. And if there's anybody on the planet that knows something about broken ankles, I know how to break one. Let me tell you. So, Chuck, hope you're doing all right, buddy. Drop it in the chat and let us know, man.
Yeah, man.
If you sprained or you broke or you whatever. And we got Chuck Franklin's going to be the featured guest on the 20th of May on this very show. And
That's
then
what's up.
I'm excited to announce also that we have Lost Paintbrush on the 27th. Next week, we got Burgess and his crew with Chandel, and he got some collabs going on and some stuff like that. So we're going to check Burgess out next week. He's always so kind. He always checks in with us. He does promo stuff. He's just a good dude. So anyway,
No.
that's what I got. I tried to get it all in. If we can somebody please send Mr. Chip up for us? And we're going to give Chip, he's going to come up. He's going to be kind enough to teach us a little bit about some basic, about photography. And then after that, we're going to get into Mr. Real Gardens, and he's going to teach us about bonsais and about container gardening and about kind of where we are in the season and how to take care of what we have and that kind of thing. So, that's what we got planned for y'all. If anybody sees Chip, throw him up on the stage.
Oh, there he is.
He
Little
might have been
Chipmunk
having a
Trail.
little bit of technical difficulty. I saw his thing try to populate there, but he might be in an undisclosed location. We might have to Chip might have to break away quickly at some point because he too, I believe, is only here as a loner from another planet. I believe that he is only here. I think Chad was somehow able to get him an extension on his paperwork, but
I
y'all might
extended
not
the lease.
realize that Chip's been on this planet for about 280 years. So he's tired of us humans. He's sick and tired of us.
285.
85.
Woo.
I got you, man. I got you, brother.
Chip Jackson's get out of his house.
Chipster, man, we love you, brother. We appreciate
Absolutely,
you coming
bro.
on. It's good to
Yes,
see
sir.
you. We always give you the business. Every once in a while, I'll get a little hate mail about how I was talking to Chip. They'll figure out eventually that that's our dude right there.
Yeah,
But
man.
I
Chip,
keep getting the bills for the chiplet cleanup. We got to figure something out about that. I don't know.
hey, as long as he keeps paying the bills, I don't care. It's fine. You can keep leaving them little chiplets all around it. I've kind of gotten used to them now. It just kind of reminds me of you, little buddy.
That's right.
Yep, Stephanie Chiplet.
Well, Chip, you were going to talk to us a little bit about, man, you're an artist of multi-modes. You're going to tell us about that. Thank you, Zach. But you were going to talk to us a little bit about some basics, kind of getting us started down the photography road, if you will. And then you're going to be a recurring appearance. Every once in a while, you're going to stop through and drop a little wisdom on us, maybe poke us with a stick or something. Who knows what you might do.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I just like I said before when I was on the show, I used to just take photos just as a memory or a keepsake, just somewhere that I've been, I just to have a photo of where I've been was cool to me. And one day I posted a photo video on TikTok and showed off a bunch of my photography, and one of my buddies asked me whose photography was that, and I told him it was mine. And he said, do you sell your photography? I said, no. He said, you really need to start selling your photography. He said, your photography is that good. And I said, the funny thing is I take everything that I do on my phone. And in the last 2 years, I've picked up some different cameras and trying some different edits and just trying to hone in on my craft that I've took up on. So
Well, it shows, sir. You definitely take some great shots. I've seen your work, and I like it.
I
So
appreciate it.
give us some. Let's. Here's the thing, and the thing that's interesting to me, you've already pointed out, is everybody can be a photographer now, right? And that's good
Absolutely.
and bad, right?
Absolutely.
There's a good side to that everybody has that opportunity because with the modern phones, the cameras are pretty decent. And the bad side of that is everybody thinks they're a photographer. Now, in some respects, everybody can be, but there are some things that you can learn that help make you better along the way. Like with any profession or any craft, the more you do it, the more you practice at it, the more different light settings you're in, the more different environments you're in, the more different things you try to shoot, the more problems you end up having to solve figuring out all of those lighting issues or color issues or pixeling issues or whatever. So just for somebody out there that's kind of getting on a journey, they're interested, they got a phone, they're taking a couple cool shots, and they're like, hey, man, this might be something I want to do a little more of. Get it started.
If you take a picture and you think it's that good, if you want to polish it up, there's programs out there. There's all kind of photography apps to help you edit your photos. And if you really want to shine that photo up, shine it up the best you can. And don't be afraid to put it out there. Don't be afraid to put your work out there for people to see it. And it's just like the art world. You might do a certain kind of art. There's somebody out there who likes your artwork. It might not be everybody. But there's going to be somebody that's going to like your work. So don't be afraid to hone in on your craft. Don't try to learn. Don't be afraid to learn. And definitely, if you know somebody else that's a photographer, try to get as much knowledge as you can off of them. That's what I did. But a lot of it I did learn on my own just through the programs and the apps, and I have a lot of spare time of me being on disability, so I don't just take my time for granted. I try to learn things from my art and try to learn things about my photography. So
Absolutely, man. Well, so if you are trying to figure out like a setting to do a shot in and lighting, let's just start with lighting. Do you have any recommendations on how to approach lighting if you're taking shots with your phone?
a lot of people try to use light as a background, but if you use the light, like a lot of times, if I've done like some personal photo shoots, and if the photographer has the light behind them, you have less of a glare as if the light was in front of you. So try to put the light towards the back, and it will actually lighten up the whole area of the photo that you're trying to shoot.
Right on. But but it's definitely got to be considered too. You definitely got to,
Oh yeah.
it matters to the image. So if you want to get images from your phone to some other platform, is that easy? Is that difficult to do? Like my phone, for example, just will load it onto my laptop. Is that how you do it? Is that how you take them from your phone to like a computer or a laptop or something like that?
Yeah, or just I put them on an SD card, or once I get it on an SD card, I put it on a hard drive.
Gotcha. So, is there a certain setting or anything that you have to have, like the quality level of the image for you to be able to send them to a professional print shop?
No, if there is, they'll normally let you know ahead of time. But most of the time, I haven't had any problems having anything of mine printed yet.
It's pretty much the bigger the picture you need it to be, the more pixels you need, right? If you want to print it out as like a banner, then you need a higher definition or whatever the terminology would be.
Right.
Image. Is that generally the correct way to describe it?
Correct.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So,
higher pixel rating.
Higher pixel rating. Gotcha. Okay. So, Chipster, I also happen to know that you have a sale coming up. And I also happen to know you got some other stuff going on. So, may have sneakily asked you to come on so you could let other folks know about your sale that's upcoming. And
I do have a video up. It's the only pinned video that I have pinned to my page. And all the pieces that I have up are one of ones. So if you do decide to get a piece, you'll be the only one with that. There will be no prints. There will be no copies
It
of
also
it.
means
Everybody should go to his page and share that out. That's what they
Yeah.
should do, right?
yes.
But yeah, I'm.
Yes.
I had to.
Yes.
I had to do an up. I had to. Well, I had to do a big move in my life, and I'm kind of. It's kind of put me in a financial bind. But yes, kind of some troublesome time right now, and I'm just a lot of this art I've held on to, and it's just some. A lot of them's my favorite pieces that I've done. So, take a lot of pride in my work, and like I said, if you get one, you'll be the only one with that piece. There'll be no prints of those.
Yeah. That also
Absolutely.
means once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah, once
So
it's
if you
gone,
want
it's
it, you
gone.
better snag it because that's it.
Zach
I
said we
think
can
I've got.
express funds right to him.
I think yeah. Then I've got my link. I've got my links in my bio, and the links are also on the video also.
You also have a link in my link tree, right?
Yes,
Pretty
sir.
sure. I'm pretty
Yes,
sure
sir.
that's the current one. That's the one that we need in there, right? Is the one that's
Right.
in there. Okay. So you can also go to my link tree and scroll down. You'll find Chip's stuff in there as well. So Chip's a good friend of ours, and I would highly encourage folks to go check out his spot and see if there's anything that you're to your liking there. Maybe pick it up and support a brother. Chipster, appreciate you being willing to come on here, man. Share a little bit of knowledge
Anytime,
with us.
brother.
Talk to us a little bit. You got my number, dude. I got the one that you sent me today. I will save that in my phone.
Yes, sir.
Man, even if you just want to cuss somebody out, give me a call, man. I'm okay with that. Chad, every once in a while, Chad will call me out and just cuss me out and then hang up. I just know he needs to feel better. It's all
It's
good.
true.
All right. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate all of you.
Thank you, Chip. Appreciate
Much
you, man.
love.
Y'all,
Hey, buddy.
please go, if nothing else, like and share that content for Mr. Chipster. Do what we can. I know there's a lot of folks out there that need a variety of things. And we all just kind of do what we can, right? So one of the things that we can do is share out their content and try to be supportive if we're able. So anyway, appreciate everybody doing that, being on board with that. We got Rural Gardens coming on tonight, and I'd like to say hi to everybody in the chat. I see y'all coming through. I'm sorry I hadn't shouted everybody out. We're just trying to get through so much today, but it's good to see you, Chuck Franklin. I hope things are working out with your ankle, man. I went back. I wasn't able to see what the answer was.
Yeah, he said he was waiting on an X-ray. So
Yeah.
He's still waiting. Okay, I got
see.
you. All right, fingers
Bob.
crossed for you, Chuck. Barbara, good to see you. Fire Puppet, good to see you. Severed, Bob, Rule, Zach, Freak.
Lost.
What are you doing, Freak? Mama T, how are you? Thank you for coming in, Mama T. Krista Marie, thank you for coming in. Haley Beth, if you're still in here, I doubt it. You
Oh,
like to
yeah.
roam.
she's here.
But
No,
so thanks,
Haley, you didn't
everybody.
miss Rule.
Appreciate everybody coming in. Hey, Jason Woodworker, good to see you. Good to see you, Fire Puppet. Good to see you, Barbara. Goopy Goop, good to see you, sir. Lost Paintbrush, good to see you. We got you coming up the 27th, y'all. I'm excited. We got Rural Gardens tonight. We got Chuck Franklin next week. He might be in a cast. And we got Lost Paintbrush the following week. I'm sorry, I screwed that up. Next week is Burgess.
Burgess.
The week after that is Chuck Franklin. The week after that is Lost Paintbrush. Sorry, I skipped ahead a week. Got all excited. The guy that we're going to bring on right now, Rural Gardens, For anybody that hasn't noticed, I have a lot of respect for. Rule does something that I really enjoy, which is bonsais. I've got a bonsai out there that's 18 years old, and I had one the entire time I was at another house, and it's an actual Japanese grafted bonsai, maple. And then all the other trees I was showing today, my wife and I have done that for years. So on a personal level, I kind of dig what he does. He takes it to the next level. I just try to, make trees, but he makes them into art form. But he's also a really good man. He also cares about his community. He cares about the people around him. He cares about his friends, his family. And he does the things to show that. And I so much appreciate him. And he also is just a super creative guy. I mean, you got to think long term to do bonsai trees, right? So I kind of like the thought process that he has too, because you got to think about things by the season. You can't just be worried about today or tomorrow. You got to think about what's coming. So I'm really excited to have him on today. If anybody, if you would, please raise your hand, Rule, so somebody could snatch you up and get you up here, and we'll get a mic check going and everything. And I know Ashman and Chad will each have a little something to say too as we get things set up here. So I just personally, I really dig Rule, and I appreciate him coming on, and he's a good friend. He's one of those cats that I can call up and be like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. What do you think? And I know that he's going to give me an honest answer because he's a man of integrity. So Mr. Rule Gardens, ladies and gentlemen, dude, it is so good to see you. Thank you for coming on. Look at that amazingness going on behind you, man. And I'm going to turn it over to Ashman and to Chad. I'm going to send Chad in the breach first because I know they both got a few things they want to say to you. Man, I'm so glad to see you here, brother.
What's going on, everybody?
It makes my day to get to talk to you, man. I'm sorry you missed Chip earlier. I know that's your dude. I know that.
Man,
Chad, what
welcome
you got?
back, dude. Welcome back. It's so good to see your face, man.
Man,
How
good
are
to see
you?
tonight. It's good to see you, man.
You been doing all right?
I've been doing good, man. I've been kind of took a little hiatus, been in a big transition in life, and kind of took a little break. But I mean, if there's anybody that can get me to crawl back out of the hole, it's the Gin Project. He's like, what you got going on? I'm like, hey, man, what you need, I'll be there. We'll come and hang out. Always a pleasure to hang out with you guys.
Well, man, I'm glad he went out to the garden and dug you back up, homie.
That's right.
Super glad.
The rebirth.
Ashman,
Rebirth.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
I'll be
I
right
love
back,
your
Ashman.
stuff. I love your stuff. I mean, it's so beautiful, dude. And
yes.
you're such a great guy in the community. I mean, you're just such a cool guy to hang out and listen to, and you have such a passion for this stuff, and it's just wonderful, man. I love it.
Dude, I appreciate that, man. You guys inspire me. That's what I love about like our community that we got going on. I think we inspire each other in different ways in life and just in art and all kinds of different things that we're into. I think it's a cool community that we can be a part of for sure.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And just to let you know, Gin was very, very excited about having you out here. He was showing off all of his trees. He looked like a proud papa walking around his yard.
Oh yeah.
So
Well-
he's excited, man.
Literally
Well, I
the
tell you,
most
man.
requested guest.
Yeah, I
believe
mean,
it.
he's
I believe
he's a one of a kind, bro. Like, I mean, I really think the world again. I think he's got something really cool going on, and I'm always wanting to be a part of it. I tell him that all the time. I'm like,
it.
dude,
Shh. He's back.
anything
He's
you
back.
need,
Don't gas him up too much.
Don't
man.
give him a big.
We got to
big
deal with him once you go back to normal life, okay? I do like your sculpture of me there in the background sitting
Yeah,
on the pot.
Oh,
Okay.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought I recognized that fella.
Yeah, yeah,
He said he had a Chad Rev Art action figure.
he does. It's right behind him.
So,
yeah.
Rule, while we got you here, man, I'm gonna. My screen froze. It may not let me. Even TikTok likes Rule better.
Yep.
So, Rule. Now, Chad,
I'm scared.
You got to understand, we've been in a life and death struggle for a few
We've been
months
in a
here
life
now.
and death
So,
struggle.
so be gentle, Mr. Rev Art. But here's where we're at.
Okay.
We got new growth coming out.
Okay. I see it right there. Yeah, I see
We
that.
got some new growth, and
growth
down
peeking
inside. And down inside, there is some new growth peeking up. But it was
Nice
pretty
to hear
brutal,
that.
man. It was pretty brutal.
Yeah, man. I tell you, the crazy world of plants can take you on a roller coaster ride. That's no doubt. I always tell people though, like one of the things about plants is they want to live, like straight up. Like we live in a world where plants are like the ultimate survivor, and so I always take the phrase from one of my favorite books, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and say, "Don't panic, don't panic."
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like I know death is knocking at the door, and you're like, what's going on? My tree's dying. I don't know what to do. But don't panic.
Yeah. All
Don't
that.
panic. You know what I mean? Like take a deep breath. Find your towel. Make sure you know where your towel is always.
It's right here, man.
Nice.
It's right here.
Always.
And then treat and figure out what's going on with it. But yeah, I've been kind of trying to walk Gin through the whole scary process of a plant that's struggling. I mean, it's one of the worst things to look at because it's, for one, that was my little baby that I gifted to my brother again. And
Yes. It
it's
was
like,
beautiful when he gave it to me.
it's been hard to, kind of be on the other end of it, but I've been trying to advise him. We've been kind of walking baby steps along, trying to figure out what's going on with it. And, we had some insect problems. And, that's a very common thing in nature. I mean, the insect world is like, we think we overpopulate the world. The world of insects is like,
Yeah.
every one of them wants to eat the trees, so it's a constant battle that we have to go through to fight against the insect world. But
Spider mites are a
glad
battle
things
too.
turn
Oh
around.
yeah.
And I think we shocked it in 3 ways is my best assessment, and I could be wrong. One, it is very dry in this shop
Yeah, for
purposely because there's a constant dehumidification going on, which is why I'm always drinking something and putting chapstick on, and it's really dry in here. You've been in here, The other thing was about a week in, it got spider mites, and I treated them diligently every day with neem oil. And it quickly took care of the spider mites. So now I had this beautiful plant that had just a couple little brown areas on it where the spider mites had gotten to it. And I thought it would be good to give it a little, on a nice day, give it a little sun, give it a little love. And I put it out in the sunshine, and the sun burned the absolute shit out of it because it had neem oil on it. And it was like cooking it. It was like slathering it in bacon grease and then putting it out in the. And I did not know that. I really thought I was I was trying to do the right thing. So from there, it was tough trying to keep this thing, and now there is new growth. It looks really brown, but there's a lot of new growth sprouting out on it. So I'm hoping that, and it's now living on the front porch where the sun comes up. My front porch happens to face east. So it gets diffused morning light that goes through a yew tree, a yew bush, really dense yew bush. So it doesn't have direct light on it. It gets some diffused light on it, hangs out on the front porch, greets the people as they go by. It seems happy.
Seems
man.
happy.
Well, I tell you, like,
Happy little tree.
I'll give you an example of a juniper that's recovering right here. So right here in front of me is a little juniper tree that, now I'll show you right here. We've got some brown little needles that had fallen off of it. And this tree kind of did the same thing. I didn't have the insect problem, but it did turn brown on me, and it was getting stressed out from the sun a little bit, and it got a little too dry a few times. You have to be really careful when you're watering these to keep them plenty moist during the when it gets real sunny outside. But I didn't panic. I kept it well watered. I pulled it into a little bit more shade, and this thing is now popping with all kinds of new growth coming off of it. All that bright yellow that you see right
See,
there.
little one. See, look at your cousin. You can do it. Look, little one. You got this. You got this. You got this.
So yes, there is hope. There is hope, Ben. There is hope.
Man, I've had troops that I didn't want to keep alive as bad as I want to keep this little tree alive. Finishing reviews on the way. Ezra, good to see you, Ezra.
What up, Ezra?
He's up there on sending spaceship messages. Everybody says hi, Ezra. Well, actually, by the way, Ezra. No, I'm kidding. What do you think? Let's say artistry shirt rule.
Dude, that's a
Hand
freaking
painted.
sweet shirt.
Pretty
That's a
dope.
sweet shirt. Right there.
Pretty dope. So you hit the nail on the head, man. Here's the thing: they want to live, right? And I know. Here's the thing: we get those in the envelopes, and we'll plant them every year. And every year we lose a few because, like you said, you go out of town, you might not be able to water them as often as you want to, or life happens, or things happen, whatever. And you lose a few here and there. But the cool thing about what you do with the bonsais, man, is I was showing some folks today. I've got like that little Japanese, the grafted one, the Japanese maple is 18 plus years old, like roughly as long as I've been, just since I've had it. And of course, it was however old it was when I got it. And that other one in a pot has the lichens and stuff on it, like the old maple trees do.
Oh yeah,
And it's the same age as those big giant trees out in my backyard. You've been here. Those big giant maple trees I planted 18 years ago, whatever it was. And some of those maples in pots are the same age.
yeah, exactly.
They just been, they can only go so far with the roots, so they don't get any bigger. And then I've given them away and planted them in the ground, and they're trees that their kids are climbing now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the cool thing about like with Japanese maples is they have a very like non-invasive root system. So they're not like a true the big maples that you see out there. Like with Japanese maples, you can grow them their whole life in a container. You can literally keep Japanese maple. I mean, they're literally Japanese maple bonsais that are 300 or 400 years old. It's an extraordinary thing to be able to keep a tree in bonsai form like that in a small pot, and it requires a little bit of maintenance, throughout the years. And we'll kind of get into a little bit of that, but the springtime is an exciting time, man, in the garden. Like we're hitting spring right now. Everything's leafed out. It's a beautiful time of the year. It's one of my favorite time of the year because everything comes back with a vengeance, puts on a crazy color display, especially in the world of like Japanese maples. And I'll kind of dive into this for a second. So part of my journey recently, man, is I went to work for an amazing nursery called MrMaple.com. They specialize in Japanese maples and all kinds of woody ornamental plants. So it's kind of the world that I thrive in, and especially when it comes to bonsai, things like that. It's pretty much any kind of plant that I want to think about doing bonsai with. I'm around that every day. So
Wow.
it gets my juices flowing and gets me all excited to be a part of that. But
Can I
yeah,
call
man.
a timeout on you? Because you're such
Yeah,
a
what's
humble
up?
guy. Can I tell a little more truth in the story? He went back to work for an organization that he helped establish.
Yeah, man.
Oh.
These people have a farm in Oregon, and he's here in Western North Carolina. I mean, these are serious folks. Like, he's a really humble guy. This ain't no joke. He has built, he has helped build something really cool here.
Yeah, man. The Mr. Maple brothers, Matt and Tim, are super cool dudes, good friends of mine. I've known them for a long time. And whenever I came out here about 3 years ago, I went to work for them. And we created this amazing community within the plant world. and really help grow their business. And of course, you know, we all know kind of like the whole COVID experience too, got people outside planting things in the ground, got people kind of isolated at home, but it also allowed people to get into their landscaping projects, things like that,
Yeah.
to give them something to do. And so it really like all these things combined just exploded, and their business took off. They're an amazing nursery. They bought a nursery in Oregon, Buckholz Nursery out there, and then they have the North Carolina branch of that as well. So I mean, we're East Coast, West Coast. I mean, we're doing it, man. Like, we got it all covered. And so if you guys are looking for a plant, you know, make sure you go check them out. I'm always going to plug my guys, man, at MrMaple.com. They have some killer plants. You guys will be blown away at some of the varieties of plants that you can find there. And really good people too, man. Really good people that are like working really hard to provide a community of information and, you know, knowledge when it comes to the plant world, so you can be successful growing your plants. So it's a really cool thing to be a part of.
You said that's Mr. Maple?
MrMaple.com, yeah. Really cool place, man. They got, you know, they got a lot of information there. And I do a lot of their
He's saying
media
they
stuff.
because he's humble. What he means is we. What he means is we. But he's a super humble
true,
guy.
man. That's true, man. Like, and they have you know, they've embraced me like family, and they're really good people. Like I said, I think the world of them. And I, you know, to me, it's like I come back and I'm like, how can I help? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the way I've always been. Like, how can I help the business?
Yeah.
How can I help things get better? You know, how can I provide more information? How can I get people excited about plants and share my passion and my joy? And that's kind of where I thrive anyway. And so I thought it was the perfect time and the perfect fit to come back.
Dude.
Man, I'm stoked for you. I can hear it in your voice when we talk, man. That, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, hey, look, we've all been in those jobs, and sometimes it's a good job, or you appreciate it, or it's, you know, whatever. But it ain't what you want to be doing, and that it just ain't what you want to be doing. So to be able to get over there in the world where you kind of thrive, man, and make a huge difference is cool, man. I dig it. I dig it for you. And there is not a better dude on the platform. Like, you're so much a nicer guy than all of us combined.
You know,
It's true.
Like,
You know,
you take the
I-
best part of me and Ash and Chad, and you still don't come up with a Rule Gardens.
well, you know, hey man, I appreciate all the love. You know, I was told by Glenn too, I smell nice too. So you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so I gotta represent on that.
Hey,
Hey,
is Will from Mr. Maple? I will be immortal.
I will be immortal. Would love to share. I'm not sure. I'm not
All
sure.
right, I just want
Actually.
right on.
I'm not
I
following.
thought maybe it was somebody from I just followed them. I thought maybe it was somebody from
Yeah, man.
right on, man. Right on.
Well, hey, so yeah, I'll
Rick.
dive into this just because I think we're kind of in a cool spot to talk about it. I always feel like that, you know, especially here on TikTok, I've been amazed at the like community feeling that we all kind of get from this, and the people we meet, and how we're connected together on so many different aspects. And I love how like we all have our strengths, right? And we all bring something different to the table. I mean, I love watching Chad, you know, with his wood carvings, man. Some of the most wicked shit I've ever seen in my life
Thank
comes
you,
from that
sir.
dude right there.
You're
And
too
it's like-
kind.
It's so freaking amazing. I can't even believe that you're able to create
It's
that.
sickening, is what it is. It's sickening that he's that good.
Amazing. And then,
You're too kind, sir.
and I'll
You're
just
too
jump
kind.
to Ash, man. Like Ash, dude, your artwork, bro. It's like the way you just kind of let it flow is like some of the coolest shit I've ever seen, man. Like,
Oh, thanks.
like
man.
I love how you can just create just just from a free flow state of mind, I love that aspect of it. I think it's like some of the most creative art form I've seen out there. It's really, really cool, man. It really inspires me. Because I kind of, my mind kind of works that way too with the bonsai world. I like to kind of imagine in my mind and then try to recreate that in kind of a free flow state of like, hey, I got this plant. How can I create this image with it?
Oh,
And so, like, I really appreciate what you bring to the table with that, man. I love how like we all kind of play off of that. And then we got the Gin up here, who's like, hey, I can make furniture, but I'm gonna make guitars instead, man. Like, what the hell? Like, this guy is so badass. Like, he's just
Yes,
gonna
he
be
is.
like, I'm just gonna start making guitars. I mean, the hell with it. I'll just make a badass guitar, and what's anybody gonna say about that? So I'm all about it. But and what I was gonna get back to is the community aspect. What I've found in the plant world, for me personally, is that there's this amazing community, and plant has a unique way of connecting people. And it's because we all are connected in nature in so many different ways. And if you think about like with Chad and Gin, they're using wood to do these different art forms, and then with Ash, like all these colors that we come up with to create art with, those come from the natural world, man. You know what I mean? Like that's how we got those inspirations from. And so, the natural world of plants is a really cool way to connect with people. And I tell you, I've been creating this amazing garden in my backyard, and you talk about community. I don't know how many times I've got these older ladies that come walking by and they're like, hey, what do you got going on back here? They're just always so curious of what I got going on because I planted this beautiful tree over here. And it kind of creates a bond and a connection with people that I probably never would have spoken with them outside of that context. But because of that, I've created this community in my own neighborhood. And, my neighbor came by the other day. He's like, hey, man, I know you're the tree guy. Could you come over and help me figure out what's going on with my tree?
That's respect.
So that's how we create these communities, man. Like, that's how I see, the Gin and Ash and Chad and so many amazing artists on here. It's like we all bring something to the table and we all are connected in that way. And I just think it's unbelievable. Like, it's just so cool that we can be a part of this thing together and create this amazing community. So I just had to speak on that because it's like, it's on my mind a lot. And every time I talk with the Gin, I'm like, bro, yeah, what we got going on here is something really cool. And I want to be a part of it. Any way I can help, any way I can try to connect with people, get people inspired. That's what I'm here to do. So I appreciate it, man.
Oh man, and it's part of Chad and I going way back, and Ash and I have had some similar conversations, but Chad and I have talked about how drawing on other artists and other mediums kind of makes us better. We feel like at what we do.
Yeah.
And like, I love it when Chris Major comes on with her crochet, for example, or, you know what I mean? Or just stuff that normally, bonsai trees has definitely always been an art form to me. I love it. I have like a soft spot for that particular practice. But you as an artist, if you weren't using bonsai trees, Rule, you would be doing something artistic, man. I mean, you're a musician. We haven't even talked about the fact that you're a lifelong musician. He's a guitar player, y'all.
Oh, man.
Chad.
Yeah.
Chad, he's a
No.
lifelong. Did you know that, Mr. Rev Art?
I
He's
did
a
not know
lifelong
that.
musician, dude. He came in my shop and just picked up guitars and started playing beautiful shit.
That's what's up,
Well,
dude.
it's,
Do you
If he
play to
wasn't
your
8 foot
plants?
tall, I would have slapped him.
Do you play to your Do you play to your plants?
I do, absolutely, man. I love going out in the garden, bringing my acoustic guitar out there and sitting around picking and grinning a little bit. Definitely, I think, when it comes to, like, I always call it garden therapy because I think there's such a cool, like, I don't know, it's a very therapeutic thing for me
Sure.
And
to go
misses you.
out into my garden and just kind of soak it all in and be inspired by it. I mean, I tell you, like I use it as inspiration, especially in my music. I love, I told Glenn, it's like, man, I'm all about the peace, love, and the plants, man. And, sometimes I may be a little too mellow for some people, but,
Never, bro. Never us.
Never.
Man, just hearing your voice, little Junior here is popping out some fresh greenery, man. Just hearing your voice. Could you keep talking? Could you keep talking to it, Rule? I mean, it's producing greenery right now as we speak.
I love it. I love it.
It missed Daddy. It missed you, Daddy. It missed you.
If we're gonna get to this kind of stuff later, stop me. But I have a question about something that you do with your plants.
man.
It's really
Let's do it.
cool.
Let's do it.
How do you get the roots, like the one you showed a moment ago? It looked like roots were growing around that sphere.
Yeah, all right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, let's
That is
get into
really
that,
cool.
man. I gotta show you some cool stuff here, man. So right here, I've got another. Cool. This is a little white spruce right here called Blue Planet, and so the way the art form of bonsai is one of the traditional things they try to do is expose that root flare in the upper root system. It takes time, and you basically try to prune the fibrous roots off of these main stalks here, and lower the root system down to a lower level. So these become more like pieces of the trunk here rather than root, and you force the fibrous root systems to be down lower to expose those higher root systems above. And so it takes a little bit of time to get it to set. But if you're careful with it, you can be really successful with it and allow those things to kind of grow over different rock forms. And that's a big thing in the bonsai world, is to do a root over a rock.
Yeah.
It really kind of creates aesthetically, it's very cool to see that kind of example of how a tree is so resilient that it could grow over a rock like that.
So you took all the dirt. You take all the dirt out or something, and then put the ball up in there, and then wrap the root, and then put dirt back
and
lower.
You just take those roots down lower and allow that rock or ball or whatever you're working with to sit up underneath that, and spread those roots over the top. And then you kind of slowly prune those roots down to the lowest level, where the fibrous roots will be under the soil, and then the bigger trunk pieces will connect to the trunk up above it. So, yeah, and I've done that with a lot of different things.
How long did that one take? The one that you just showed us? How long did it take to get to where that one's at, roughly?
That was done. So one of the things with bonsai, and I'm sure you guys could probably speak to this with some of your art, like Ash, and even you like Chad and Glenn, like when you start with a project, sometimes you have an idea in mind of how it's going to go. And then sometimes the wood or the art kind of takes a different direction. And sometimes it doesn't always go the way you were thinking it's going to go. So I think depending on the plant, of how successful and how quickly you can do, because every root system on a plant is different. So until you start exposing the root system of that plant, you don't really know for sure if that root system is going to kind of perform the way you like earlier on. Sometimes you get it exposed and you're like, oh man, this is perfect. I'll be able to slide up a rock underneath that thing and spread it out, and it's going to work great. Sometimes you get in there and the root system has developed in such a way that it's going to take many, many years before you can get it to that point.
Wow.
So it depends on the tree.
Right on. That's what. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like artwork, it kind of goes the way it needs to go, rather than how you want to make it go. So,
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a very free form thing. You can, there's different ways that it turns out. Like For example, the way this root system worked out is it had one main, stem that come down, and everything else was on one side. So I thought, how about I just pull this over that front, so it's not a multiple root system across. It's just that one main root system across the top there. So it's just a little bit different. Each plant, the root system is kind of, a little bit different depending on how the root system develops. So, it is a kind of free form of art for sure.
Do you use any kind of I have like oh my god, it's like a cloning gel, like root stimulators or anything?
Yeah, I do. Typically, anytime I work on a bonsai, especially, and this we'll get into this topic too, because I think this is a great kind of transition point here. Is with bonsai, because you're working so much with the root system, you want to be doing that in the winter and fall time of the year when the plant is more dormant and shut down. You don't want to be messing with the root system as much in the spring and summer because the top of the plant is active and growing. So you don't want to stress the plant out like that. So in the winter time, late winter, I think is for me the perfect time to start working on bonsai. You can really expose the root system. You can do a full root prune and resoil, all of that, training over rocks. You're not going to have to worry about stressing out the plant. And then I use this product right here, dude. I swear by it. It's called Super Thrive. Super Thrive is the best stuff out there. It's a very natural vitamin solution, kind of a kelp derivative, but it's really good stuff, and it's great for promoting root growth. And when you're working with bonsai, because you've manipulated that root system so much, you want the plant to kind of focus back in on the root system. And you're trying to slow down the top of the tree as well. You want more root development and slow down the top of the tree. So Super Thrive is a great formula to kind of give as an additive after you've worked on your project. Give it a nice Super Thrive solution there, and it'll be thriving for sure.
Okay, nice. I got myself a screen cap of that.
Yeah, it kind of smells a little funky too, man. It's got that kelp in it, so it kind of smells a little bit like the deep sea world out there. It's good stuff.
So I just, because I'm a simpleton, I want to be clear. I'm revisiting a little bit. So say this is one of those stone balls that you were using, right? Mm-hmm. All that you would do if you didn't have the roots that would go far enough around it, I'm assuming, was you bury the ball and then put the tree on top of it. And then each year you uncover a little bit of it and trim off a little bit of the roots. And then the next year you uncover more, add dirt to the bottom, and keep getting those roots to come down. Am I right in that you could just go ahead and bury the stone, and it might take some time, and over time you would unbury it? And yes, Uncle Knowing, I'm pretty sure you can bonsai oak trees too, anything.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But you're 100% right, again. That's how kind of most of the situations happen. Is it's a slow process. You basically bury that stone underneath the root system, and each year you're basically lowering that root system slowly until you expose more of that rock. Now, depending on the situation, sometimes the root system will lend to you to be able to do that really early on. So it kind of depends on the plant. But to speak what Unknowing's talking about, I always kind of want to talk on this. But so with bonsai, bonsai is not a specific type of plant. Bonsai is any plant. And the real translation of bonsai is any plant or tree in a small pot. That's the translation. So any kind of plant or tree can become a bonsai. Oak trees, absolutely, man. I've seen some really killer oak trees in bonsai form. I've seen azaleas in bonsai form, rhododendrons, pine trees, Japanese maples. I mean, you can create with any kind of plant that you're into. So that's what's really cool about that world is whatever kind of plant you're into, and everybody's into different stuff. Some people are into like roses and things like that. Dude, you could take like a killer knockout rose, which has those smaller roses, and do an amazing bonsai with it.
Got a knockout rose bush.
You know what I mean,
That's
so
cool.
like just depending on what kind of plants you're into. I mean, I've seen people take herbs, things like sage, rosemary, things like that, and do some amazing bonsai with it. So, like anything that you're into in the plant world, you can create a bonsai. Really cool stuff.
What about fruit trees?
Fruit
Thank
tree,
you.
absolutely. I tell you, I'll show you something I got right here.
The Rhodey bonsai. Yes.
So what I have right here is a little flowering shrub known as aronia, which has small edible berries on this. It has some little white, kind of white pinkish flowers in the spring, and then those flowers will turn into berries. I don't know if you guys can see this now. I'm gonna try to get a little close up here. But right here,
Yeah, I got you. Now
You
put your
okay?
hand up there. You can see them. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
these will develop into I believe it's a form of chokeberry is the actual like kind of layman's term for that. But it's a really cool plant, very
Okay.
medicinal type plant, good for antioxidants, great vitamin C, things like that. So you can absolutely do fruiting plants, flowering shrubs, things like that. It's really kind of up to your imagination as to what you want to create with it.
Yeah. Well, I have a small orchard here on my farm, and it got me to thinking. I was like, wonder if you can do that. I have like peach trees and apple trees and like plum and
And you can see
Nice.
the gnarly root system on this thing, man.
wow.
I've got a couple of pieces.
That's awesome.
This is called garden quartz. It's a really, really cool crystal. I'll show you, see if I can show you a little bit of what gets me going. Like, I mean, obviously, I love to use like crystals and stones and things like that. I think it's just a cool way to add a little.
Come and go
Just
signs
get
are
flash
being
to it.
replaced with Maverick signs officially.
And right here is this is called garden quartz.
No
and
more
in-
come and go.
Inside this thing is like a little garden inside this stone. man.
Oh, wow.
Really freaking cool.
Dude.
That was really cool.
I absolutely love this form of crystal, and I think it's just perfect for bonsai. I mean, it's called garden quartz, right? I mean, can't go
Sure.
wrong with that. So, really cool things like that, just to add a little artistic flair to it, and bring your own kind of unique character to the tree, and kind of highlight some of the connection between the earth and the plants. You know what I mean? Like it's a cool way to bring those two things together.
Nice.
So we need to get Chad to carve us a little guitar out of stone and then send it to you so that you can start a bonsai around a little carved piece of a little carved guitar. He's
like
been wanting to carve stone, and we're trying to steer him away from it and keep him. So maybe we could placate him with a small stone carving of a guitar that he could add into a bonsai tree.
Oh man.
Dude, I like that freak. Yeah, he said looks like a dark matter galaxy. It does, man. It's such a cool crystal. So many cool different ways you can use crystals in bonsai. And I never really seen. I always seen like the root over rock type situations in bonsai,
Mhm.
but I never really seen it done with crystals. So I was like, man, to me, I was like, that could take it to the next level of just creating
Yeah.
this dynamic play off of the world of crystals and plants and how those two things interact. So it gets me excited when I get find some killer crystal that I'm like, dude, this thing's going to look so good. I tell you, I've got this plan for a bonsai coming up at some point.
Yes, dude. Ah.
Whoa.
Man, I
This
picked
is-
one of those. I picked up a crystal skull in the gallery that we were in with Essay this weekend, and it had a 6 and 2 zeros behind it, so I had to set it back down. I was going to bonsai it. I was going to do the bonsai thing, but I couldn't do that.
That's cool.
So I believe this is called moss agate, and it's, carved into this skull right here.
Did you carve that too?
I did not carve this. No, I purchased it. But I just thought, man, some roots growing over the top of that thing. Woo!
While wood would degrade, can you use metal? Or is
Can
that
you
gonna-
use metal? Yeah, absolutely. You'd probably want to use something that would be, non-rust, conducive to something like copper or something like that. Wood
Sure.
or stainless
Yeah, there's a
steel.
lot of
Bronze? Bronze?
Yeah,
Try to do
there's a
bronze.
lot of coatings that you can do on
So it'd
metal
be-
that will keep it from
It'd be
cutting.
cool to do like
breaking down.
some kind of ornate metal art piece and have the roots growing over that. Absolutely, that'd be amazing. Really
Bob
cool.
brought
Okay.
some bonsai.
Keep a note of that
love it.
one. Rules.
Yeah.
Keep a note.
So, what I'm getting at too, I'm kind of poking it a little bit. This man also does collaborations with folks, which is amazing. That piece Victor made, man, is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I know you got some work from Severed Art. I know y'all do some stuff together, or at least we're trying to lure you. Look at that, y'all. Look at that.
Yeah.
Turned by the Mr.
Right
Victor
there, man.
himself.
The Dizzy Toad. The Dizzy
man.
Toad right there. Victor, my good friend Victor. I got to meet him, man. Like he comes to some local craft shows here in my area, and I got to go meet Victor. Such a cool dude, man. Like, and it's such a talented mind. I love the way he approaches
Yes.
his wood turning. And I mentioned to him one day, I was like, dude, I would love to have a bowl for a bonsai made out of wood, and sealed. And just so that, I love the natural feel of like a wooden bonsai pot.
Yes.
This thing is some spalted maple with some ambrosia. I mean, it's
Yep. Beautiful.
it's so wicked nice, man. I can't wait to get
Yeah.
something in this thing. I got to pick the perfect plant for this thing because I don't want to just find some run of the mill. I got to have something that just really sets this thing
Right.
apart. But it's a really nice piece. I'm excited to find something cool to put in this thing.
Man, I dig it.
Yeah, I did. I also got some art from Severed Art. She's such an amazing artist, man. And just like, it's so cool to watch her work because like she has these visions. It's almost like she has these visions of these different things, and then she like puts
Yes.
it and she uses so
It
many
makes it
different,
happen.
yeah, she makes in so many different elements too, like in wood burning and in painting and all these different applications. It's really
Yeah.
cool to see all that work. I've got this really nice piece of wood that she got from the Gin Project, and she did an amazing wood burning kind of a bonsai tree over a little crystal rock on the bottom. When I saw her doing it, I'm like, I gotta have that thing, man. Like, you're speaking my language. I gotta have that. So it's a really cool piece. I can't wait to get that, and I need to do a video kind of showing what I got from her. She does some amazing stuff.
Oh yeah.
And
That
I'm all
particular cherry is from
Yeah.
the very first tree I milled. Period.
nice.
And that cherry tree was where that building is now. And I was standing in my bedroom watching during a storm, and I watched it blow over.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's the very first tree you milled.
You have a piece of that. Yep.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
That's very cool. I was going to try to bring it by your shop, man. Have you put the Gin Project brand on there for me?
We can do that.
All
We
right,
can do
I
that.
like it. I like
We'll
it.
get you over here, man. We'll get you over here. And you get to play your friends again.
Yeah, man. I'm excited about that, dude. I tell
So
you what, man, you got me.
Go ahead,
You got
buddy.
me all pumped up when you showed me that purple stripe and that guitar that you're making for SA Artistries.
Right.
That thing is so sweet. Looks so good. Ah, there it is.
beautiful.
There it is.
We started putting started putting some stuff in it.
What a beautiful piece of art, sir.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you.
And there's mahogany on the back that had some sapwood, and then the stripe goes down the middle. But yes, you have. It's funny you should say that, sir, because this isn't the same cherry tree, but this is a cherry Telecaster body that is going to Severed to do her magic on, similar to your piece of cherry that you have.
Nice.
I'm sure it'll be a different concept, but nonetheless. So, what you were saying earlier, drawing inspiration from all of these people here, like getting to work with these two clowns. It's unbelievable. I literally had to I had to get my own clown noses just so I could hang with these two, man. And Chad, every other week, he tries to die on us.
Yeah.
Yeah. You caught me on the upswing, Rule, so everything's fine right now.
I like it.
Next week, I can't make any promises.
Well, I gotta come down here to the bonsai bunker to come hang out with you guys. I don't want to get a reputation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Don't worry. We won't tell anybody else you were here.
Yeah, he's disguised in his Gin Project paraphernalia.
Yeah, I like that hoodie, by the way. I like that hoodie.
Gotta represent, man. Gotta represent.
Dude, you're amazing, man. You're amazing.
Man, I got to pick up one of those hoodies so I can finish up my uniform.
I
Yeah,
heard that.
What am I have to do now?
I like it.
I don't think Rule wears hats. I think Rule is a hatless fellow. He's got pretty hair, so he don't wear hats.
Well, my wife always says, you might as well enjoy your hair while you still got it. So I'm like, yeah, that's probably.
It's true. It's true.
I'm curious about this plant behind you that you have Chad Rev Art sitting in. And I'm trying to figure out how you got an actual image of of what he really looks like without a skin suit on.
He has clearance.
So I picked this up. It was like in
That's
some,
him at Coachella. That was him at Coachella.
Yeah, it just said Chad action figure, and I was like, well, okay, I've never seen that before. I'll pick this up. And I don't know if he's like, using the restroom or what he's going on.
Yes. Yes.
He's like,
He absolutely is using the
See,
restroom.
I'm actually telling you what I'm doing. A number two.
It's like-
I'm going number 2.
I'm going number 2, y'all. What up?
He's calling a shot. He's the Babe Ruth of Andromeda.
Number 2, right over there. Oh, should have done that part.
Well, hey, Rule, tell me this, buddy. I know I've gotten to work with Chad quite a bit, and I've been really fortunate to get to work with Ash quite. Or I say work with them, be in their presence while they're working digitally anyway. At least be in the same live with them or whatever. And the way Chad's brain works is he will come up with a general concept. Like I've shown him a piece of wood before, and he's gone, I know what that's going to be. But ultimately, like you were saying earlier, there'll be these natural deviations. In the oak piece that he's doing, he found a little burly area, so he included it in the lip, included it in an eye, and you know what I mean? He incorporate. So you have a plan, but you also kind of incorporate the unexpected, and it deviates your plan to the better, usually in Chad's case. And then Ashman, similar thing. This dude will come up. And it happens, I don't know, this is son of a bitch. Like, on one hand, he'll go, what am I going to draw today? And somebody go, I don't know, draw a cricket riding a frog fishing for raven. And he'll go, okay. And he'll sketch out the coolest shit you've ever seen in like 15 minutes.
Right. Yeah.
Or he'll be like, I've been thinking on this thing. And then he starts doing it, and it looks like that piece that he's been working on that he's now adding airbrush and oil paints, and I don't know, he might have squeezed the tears from small children. I don't know how he gets it to be so beautiful. I'm not sure.
Don't
But-
put out my secrets, man. Not here.
But is your buns, like, are you walking through, like, the maple ground, so to speak, and you just see a tree and you're like, oh, shit, that's the one? Or
Yeah.
do you have something in mind already, or both?
I think a lot of times it really is just like the tree usually speaks to me. Like I usually don't have in mind like a specific tree that I'm looking for. Usually I'll just be looking for something that has unique characteristics to it. And that could be any plant, like I'll be walking through a greenhouse and just see something that just has a killer shape to it. And from that moment, my mind begins to like recreate in my mind of like what I could do with that style of plant and in the bonsai form. And I think it is kind of a cool way to you know basically, and I'll show you an example of that. Let me see if I can find it. Right here. All right, so this tree,
rosemary.
this tree right here was bent over at a young age, and it probably the trunk had kind of just been bent over and really wasn't growing naturally like it normally would. But to me, it caught my attention because now what I've got here is what I call a windswept style.
Oh yeah.
So if you've been in nature and you've seen that tree that was like bent over
Yeah.
from a storm or something like that, and it kept growing, right? And so this is kind of what I had envisioned in my mind. It has this really gnarly shape to it, and the trunk system was bent really low to the bottom here, and it just created this amazing like windswept style. And so,
I love it.
like I
Man.
said,
It's really cool.
and what this is a hemlock tree, which grows native here in Western North Carolina.
Woolly
That-
diligence.
That was a really another next level kind of piece to it. I was like, ooh, I've never done a hemlock, so that would be another cool step to it. Just kind of experimenting with different plants. You kind of want to try them all. There's a million flavors, and you want to try them all. So, the hemlock was a cool experiment. It's turning out great. I got a lot of new growth popping off this thing. And, but yeah, like I said, I think sometimes it's just finding a plant that speaks to you in some way, and this was an example of that.
That's awesome.
That's cool. Man, I'll have
And
to take
a little-
pictures next time I walk in the woods behind my house because there's all sorts of crazy trees that have like blown over and then kept growing. So they've got like really weird stuff going on.
yeah.
I'll have to send
We-
you pictures to
We
kind of
have
inspire you.
Palo Verdes out here that kind of do that. Like when they get
Yeah.
racked, and there's actually a park with a bunch of them like just gnarled everywhere, every which way, and it's just really cool to look at.
That's awesome, man. Hey, you know what? I see my homie Maple Maniac in the house in here. That's one of my good
up?
friends right there. He's a maple maniac for sure. He's all about the Japanese maple. He's a plant collector. Really good friend of mine. You guys go give
Give
him
you a
some
follow.
love, man. Yep, give him a follow. He
Got
doesn't
you, brother.
often. Good dude, man. He's got some cool content. He's got some amazing
Gotcha.
plants as well. You guys go follow him, man. He's a good dude.
I got him.
We got you, sir. Got you. If you're good with rule, then you're good here, man. Well, so rule, tell us what is the meaning of life?
What is the meaning of life, man?
42.
I was just about to say, I know he's going to say 42. We already got all the other
42.
references.
We already
I thought
got
it was 73. I thought it was 73.
42.
42, baby. It's 42. You know. Unfortunately, I'm 45, so I've already kind of passed that. Yeah. I missed the meaning of what 45.
It's in the rearview mirror, man. It's all right.
Yeah. Oh man.
It's funny you talk about nature and art. One of the things I like to do is go to nurseries. Like we have a really big nursery out here, and that helps me reset. And when I'm like kind of blocked
Yes.
or something, I go out there and just walk. We don't go anywhere else. We just kind of hang out there, and all of a sudden the smells, the color, the it's just invigorating. And
Yeah.
you kind of light back up. I don't know. There's something about it. And
Yeah, for sure, man. When I really got into landscaping in the plant world, I learned really quick that it was a really cool way, like you said, to reset. Because I'd have these long, like just hellacious work weeks, and then I would come home for the weekend, and I'd have my garden to go kind of retreat to, and kind of refresh and reset, and it just such a cool way to kind of let all those things go, kind of find a space in your mind where you can kind of reconnect with the world around you, appreciate the beauty. We all get so busy sometimes with everything that's going on. It's hard to slow down and kind of take a moment. The old saying, "Stop and smell the roses." I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of sounds cheesy and cliche, but it really does actually help to slow down and stop, man. Go out, smell a flower, look at a tree, check out the
Yeah.
beautiful
Yeah.
things around you. It can change your life for sure, man. It can bring some really nice, peaceful Zen feelings in your life and kind of get you reconnected for sure.
Yeah.
That little area I was working in today, that's kind of what that's about. I mean, when you were here, it wasn't, it was winter, so it wasn't, but there's, all the little trees and stuff out there. Just sometimes I'll go out in the morning and just water everything and take maybe 10 minutes just to kind of listen to the birds, maybe 10 minutes just to kind of listen to the birds and kind of try to just, you know what I mean? Just kind of let it go. And yeah, man, that's a
You just gave me a memory of my dad. Anytime my mom and him would get into it, would go outside and water the grass and smell the trees. It was a way to get away from it, but it was a way to get away from it, but it was also a way to reset, like you said.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it does kind of it gets your imagination going. I think Ash, you looking for things to be inspired by, and I think nature provides that in so many interesting ways.
Yeah.
yes.
And then with bonsai, what's cool about that is, if you can imagine it in your mind, you can recreate it in a bonsai form. And I like to take, like, I think a lot of natural forms of bonsai is like imagining what you see in nature and then recreating it in a miniature world. And you're taking that plant or idea and you're shrinking it down in its own little universe of a bonsai pot, and you kind of get to create your own world there and I like to do that, like with the crystals and things like that. And I'll show you a cool one right here that I've been working on for a while, and I'm proud of this one because I love
White
the
pine?
this
Wow.
is a pine tree. It's a
Yeah.
Mugo pine.
You go, pine.
And a good friend of mine carved this little sleeping bison right here, right? Out of
Right on.
soapstone. And, if you'd imagine in a field, an open field somewhere, and there's that lonely pine sitting out there, and that bison's looking for some shade to get underneath and hang out and take him a nap. And, it kind of plays with my imagination and in my mind.
Sure.
I can create a small miniature world with bonsai and different plants.
That's awesome, man. That's
Oh yeah.
that's super cool. I love it. Love it. The bison chilling in the shade, the one shady area. That's dope, man. It's dope. So, the other side of that is obviously not only are you wandering around looking for plants, but you're also wandering around looking for unique pots. You're also wandering around looking for unique things to put in the pots to grow the plants on, like the skulls and the bison and
Yeah.
all of those things. So anybody out there that does that kind of stuff, feel free to get in touch with this dude and get it to him.
Definitely, man. Yeah, if you do clay work and stuff like that, man, I'd love to see, some clay pot options. I'd really be into that sort of thing. A good friend of mine here on TikTok that I buy a lot of my crystals from. I'll plug him just for a second. You guys should go check him out. He's called Wire Wrapped Earth Turds. I love his name, man. It's so killer, and he's an awesome dude. I bought this crystal skull from him and a bunch of other stuff. Wire wrapped earth turds, super cool dude. He's got some amazing crystals for sale, and he's cheap on prices, and always got some cool stuff. And so I always kind of go hit him up. Hey man, what do you got? I'm thinking I got this bonsai project I'm working on. Show me some cool stuff. Let me see what you got. And he'll rummage through everything he's got. And show me. He pulled this thing out. I'm like, oh yeah, I got to get that.
Yep.
I mean, that right there is going to be perfect for a bonsai.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm always looking for different mediums to play with.
Have
And
you ever
different-
used a fossil in the instead of like a crystal or something? Maybe a fossil.
You know, I have a couple of fossils that I've been kind of playing around with.
Yeah, dude, a Nautilus.
Yep.
I've got a couple of fossils that I've been trying to figure out ways to incorporate them as well.
Nice.
Always looking.
That's
for
it.
something-
We're adopting them. We're officially we're taking a vote right now in the middle of the show. Ashman Chad, to officially adopt him into the family. It's got to be a unanimous decision. I'd like to hold a vote. I vote aye.
I
Okay, you're now officially part of our family. There is no escape for you. There's no getting out. Only death and dismemberment can get you out.
till death do us part. You're screwed.
That is awesome, dude.
Eve, you get back in my beard and be quiet.
Eve, we adopted you. You don't get to adopt
Right now.
anybody.
Go to your room. Go to your room. All right, you stay there.
Oh man, dude. So I got all these collaborations in my head, man. You make music. Chad makes music. We make cool stuff. Ashman's also a musician, by the way. We're gonna have to figure
Quite
out
a
how to get
musician.
all that to somehow form some sort of a nexus. Songs quietly to the beard.
I don't care how you go, you just go. How dad did that sound? The dad rev art, huh?
I have this vision for a bonsai tree that is in a pot that's shaped like an upside down pagoda,
Okay.
like
Okay.
an oak pot that's stacked.
Right.
You know what I mean? Upside down and like a upside down pyramid almost, like cut off. You know what I'm
I
saying?
like it. I like it.
With a cool. So we might also have to figure out how we can come up with some cool little stuff to make, like that. The bowl that he turned. Anyway, you got a thought there, maybe.
Yeah, I think me and you need to get together. Maybe I can come up to the shop and maybe we can work on building some cool little planters for some different plant material, man. I think we could get in the shop there, get the music going, get inspired, and dig around in your little wood shop out there. I'm sure that we can come up with something.
Dude, I've made some that is cool, something that's really cool, man. I've got old school tobacco stakes they used to dry the tobacco on. A lot of times they're square already and they're shaped and they're made out of oak oftentimes. They're hardwoods. What I have done is made stuff like that, but what we can do is I also have electric stuff, right? We can shoot little brads, and we can make stuff and shoot brads in them. It don't all have to be joinery or glue or whatever.
Yeah.
But we can make some prototypes that you liked, and then be able to, you can come out and look through out there and figure out what materials, and put a stash of materials aside, come up with the concepts that you like, and then every once in a while make something cool.
Yeah, I'm sitting here thinking, Ash, man, maybe I would love to see your translation of like some morbid bonsai. Like you're always looking for some crazy thing to draw.
I could do that.
I want like some morbid bonsai recreation from the mind of the Ash Man.
Oh, I could
Like
totally
a
do that.
like he go like the repeatable though, right? The bonsai is the character, and it goes around doing shady ass shit. That'd
That's
be
right.
awesome,
That's
man.
right. I mean, we come up with a whole series of that shit right there.
Oh yeah.
And then he brings his other bonsai friends in that, you know, one's a white pine and one's a juniper and one's a, you know, a maple, and they all got their own problems. One's
only got one
cone,
leaf.
yeah, one's got bad cone problems. Thanks, Zach. Thanks, man. Yeah, dude, that's why we're on here, man, is to try to figure out where things mesh together, and plus I dig rules, so I try to figure out ways that I get to do stuff with the rules, to be honest with you.
Well, hey, man, you know, I'll take a second here, guys. Let's just talk about everybody that's been in the chat here, man. Everybody, I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us. I see Freak in there, Severed's in there, my buddy Maple Maniac. I mean, Zach, I see Zach in there. Man, I appreciate this community of people. You guys are amazing. You've always showed me so much love and support, and I really appreciate that. I just want to make sure you know that doesn't go unappreciated. And what we do here at the Gin Project, I think it's something special. I think it's something special. I think it's something sacred. I think it's something we should protect. We should, you know, we should grow. We should fertilize. We should do all of the things that you do with plants. We should grow this community and keep it strong. And look out for each other. You know what I mean? Like, that's what a community does. We look out for each other. We take care of each other. I love the fact that we had Chip on. Chip's going through some things in his life, man. We all go through things, man, and we need the love and the support. So I love that about what we're doing.
Dude, you're amazing. You're an amazing guy, man. Yeah, you know, we've had those conversations kind of on the phone too, as far as like, you know, we want the world to be a better place, you know, that we left it. You know, we don't want to be a part of just wrecking shit. We want to, you know, Chad's got a little girl. You know, I'd like for, I don't have kids, so I could, by all practical purposes, be like, hey, let's use up all the resources we can. I've only got a little time left anyway. But I don't know, man. I want, you know, there's a part of me that wants to do things that last, and that don't waste resources, that harness resources, you might say. And I think all of us are on a similar quest, just maybe for different reasons, or we take different approaches at it, but we're all trying to leave it a little better than we found it. And, you know, Uncle Knowing, for example, we give Uncle Knowing a lot of grief in the chat. That's our like, he's the OG. He's the OG of the OGs. But you know, there's from Uncle Knowing in the community all the way to the other end of the scale, and every single one of those people is important and contributes and does amazing things in their own right. And if we can all figure out how to direct that in service to each other rather than at each other, I think we all benefit. I think we all end up. I mean, look, Mama T and Zach put all that effort and time and energy into building a gallery. Ashman has sold art there already. Severed has sold art there already. I know Mama T sold art there because I bought some. So there is Tenda. So there is the other side of that is we can't fix every cause. We can't pay every bill. We do a lot of fundraisers, and you know, we can't write checks to everybody. But the one thing that seems to be effective is if everybody just does what they can, then people get through.
Yeah, man. I think there's so many different ways that we can all, you know, contribute to what we got going on. You know, I'll use this as an example. I was sitting there thinking about, you know, how we can leave our mark on the world, like you said, and I always kind of relate back to, you know, what I'm into in my life, and I'm into the world of plants. And so I moved to North Carolina 3 years ago, and I left an amazing garden in Oklahoma. I had planted over 350 different varieties of Japanese maples. I had so many conifers and all kinds of shade gardens. I had beautiful beds that I created, and an amazing landscape. It was basically like an arboretum. And a lot of my friends were like, "Man, how could you walk away from that? That would be so hard to walk away from that." And I always thought in my mind, I left Oklahoma more beautiful than when I was there. You know what I'm saying? Like I left my mark through my plants and my passion about plants. Somebody generations from now is going to walk into that backyard and be like, "Holy, what in the
Wow.
world?" You know what I mean? So like,
And Oklahoma needs it.
and Oklahoma needs
Yeah.
it, right, man. So I always thought of that in such a cool way. Even though it was hard to walk away from it, I felt like my joy, my passion, in that aspect really did make an impact. And I think it's a little bit, it's a little speck in this great big world. But I think if we all do that, if we all
Yeah.
participate, if we all plant a tree, if we all paint a picture, if we all carve some wood, if we all write some poetry, if we all get into what we're into and we just do it at our best ability, I think
Man.
the limits are like, I mean, it's unreal what we can do together. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about.
That little speck becomes a blot until it starts to make a big old spot.
That's right, man. That's right, man. I love what we got going on here. That's why I'm always like, anytime you guys want to hang out, I'm all about it.
Well, it's definitely going to be a reoccurring event. The Rule is a reoccurring 10-minute person too. He's a reoccurring highlight artist, but he is also a reoccurring featured artist. And I think everybody gets the gist. If you don't know Rule yet, and you watch this show today, now you know why. Now you know why we have so much respect for him and think so much of him, because the dude goes out of his way to make the world a better place, and we need more of that. We need lots more of that.
Yeah.
And it isn't that he doesn't have his own miseries and his own sacrifices that he's had to make in his life, right? Don't get it twisted. Like Rule shows up with a smile every day and a good attitude every day, but that ain't because it's easy. That's because he puts the work in to be that guy.
Yeah, for
Just-
sure, man.
Just putting it out there, man. It ain't always just as easy as just being Rule. I mean, that's cool, but sometimes you got to pay the bills too, right?
Right, man. I mean, just like all of us. I mean, I've been through a lot of things in my life, and I know we all have our own challenges and things that come our way. But if we persevere and try to get up every day and live it to the fullest, I don't think we'll have regrets. You know what I mean? Like if you give it your all every day. And some days we even come up short. I mean, let's be honest, man. Some days we
Yeah.
come up short. But if we gave it all we got, even if that's coming up short, then we got no regrets, man. And we can go into the next day and be like, hey, you know what? Today might be a little different. See what we can do today. That's kind of
When
how
you come up, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, when you come up short, it's okay. Just have a little humility, like it ain't a big deal. Get it next time. Just the effort, the sincere effort to try to get there is what's important, right? You don't have to be the best artist on the planet to be the most sincere artist on the planet, right?
That's true.
As long as you're sincere about your art, you're being as good as you can be. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Because to somebody, that is greatness. Hey, Raven. Speaking of greatness, hey, Raven.
Yeah. Raven. What's up, Raven?
And MC in the chat, who never understands why we think so much of him. He's always like, I don't know what they're talking about.
Ha, ha, ha.
MC is another great example of that. That dude, that's a guy that is an accomplished man that is super humble and super kind, and you would never know it. But he's been around, seen some things, done some things, and we're fortunate enough that he shares his experiences with us. He shares his time with us. You know what I mean? To me, that's a really, I don't know. It's just cool. It's just a cool thing to get to make time like that. Goopy Goop, there he is, Mr. Fingerboard himself. So, Rule, is there any advice you have for Chad on no, I'm kidding.
I was like, cool, what are we doing? I'm ready for some advice, Rule. Jeez.
Oh man.
Ash, Chad, y'all got any thoughts? We got a little time with
About-
Rule, but I
about
want to make
Chad?
sure I usually cut y'all off.
About Chad fitting in maybe to humanity a little easier. I don't know.
Yeah, what you got, Ash? What you got, buddy?
Oh,
Oh, thanks for
man.
that. Oh man, no. I mean, the way you think of nature and moving through life with nature is awesome. I can't agree more, man. I mean, I'm a bit hippie-ish when you think about things like that. I guess I'm a little more zen about the nature and how it interacts with us. And
Yes.
you know, it's kind of like one of those days when it rains and I walk outside to make sure I smell the desert plants out here because it calms me. And
Yeah.
it's just a wonderful scent that I grew up with, and it's home. And it's funny how plants kind of make us feel home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man. I remember first time I came out to North Carolina and stood up on the Blue Ridge Mountains on the overlook on the Blue Ridge Parkway. I was like, man, like I've never felt more at home somewhere in my life. You know, I felt like beforehand, like I was always kind of out of place and searching for something. And I remember coming out here and experiencing like this, like purest, rawest form of nature that I think I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
And it just, and I connected to it instantly. And it inspired me, you know, and it was kind of came at a time in my life where I had just lost my mother at that time. And so I was kind of doing some deep soul searching about life and just how short it is and, you know, time wasted and all of these different things. It was like, man, I don't want to waste any more time. You know, I want to be somewhere where I'm inspired. I want to be and do things that inspire others. And so like it kind of, set me on a path, you know what I mean, and changed my life in a big way, and you know, and I brought the joy of plants with me everywhere I go. So it's like, you know, I just have this continuous source of inspiration within me, and now that I'm out here, it's like I'm surrounded by beautiful nature. So it's like everything that I love about plants, I can just walk outside and experience it on so many different levels. And it's really cool to be here.
I
Yeah,
think
man.
you being in tune with all of
Sure.
your plants is part of the vibe that everybody gets from you that makes people happy.
Yeah.
I tend to be a biocentrist, and you definitely while you guys were just talking, it kind of just went and clicked for me. I was like, this dude is completely vibing with these plants because you understand that it's Mother Nature, and we're a part of that as well.
Yeah.
And you being in tune with what you're doing as much as you are, it comes through.
He's a wood sprite.
It came through. Yeah.
Wood Sprite. He's our
yeah,
Wood Sprite.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Wood Sprite.
That's actually very complimentary. Actually,
I come as a representative of the trees.
Yeah, he's like
So,
their giant. Yeah, he's like their Goliath.
Yeah. I try to stay in tune with, you know, nature. I mean, I do live out in the middle of the sticks, so it's, you know,
Yeah.
a little easier. But you can tell. I think that's part of the vibe that makes people feel so like you are rejuvenating as a plant is rejuvenating. You guys were talking earlier about like going out during springtime, and it kind of goes right back to that. We are part of nature. So while nature is rejuvenating and doing all these fresh, new, great things, we often forget because we've, you know, severed ourselves off from nature so much that we are in fact a part of that nature, and just the makeup of our body reacts to those things. You know, like Ash walking out after a rain, you talking about how spring really invigorates you, and it's like you said, stop and smell the roses. You know, a lot of those really cliche sayings that we have, when you dig on them, they have a lot of meaning, you know, and a lot of people think that just means, oh, take a minute for yourself, and it could mean maybe you need to be reinvigorated by nature itself. Stop and smell what nature is doing around you and be a part of that. I don't know. I was sitting here quiet for a while, taking it in while you guys were talking, and I was like, he's totally like a plant vibe. This is why he is reinvigorating to people. I think that's why you're the most requested guest on the Gen Project, is people feel that, like we were talking about, walking out in the spring air, walking out after the rain, and you're in tune with that. So I think you kind of supply folks with that same thing.
Well, man, that's what I mean, that makes me happy, because that's what my hope is that I can share what I'm about with other people, and they gain something from it, because I mean, it's not all about me, it's I live
Sure.
my life. I try to be in kind of a selfless position where, I try to think about how I can impact other people. And I always say my two favorite things are people and plants. And if I surround myself with those kind of opportunities every day, I feel like, I'm living my life to the fullest. So I appreciate the kind words, man. That means a lot to me. I appreciate it.
It's the truth, man. It's just
True, yeah.
I think that's the vibe I get. Like, I finally kind of figured it out while we were all sitting here talking. I was like, this is, yeah.
I think that touches on something a little deeper, even too. In that, let me see if I can articulate this example. We live in Western North Carolina, where there's a tremendous amount of hardwoods. Consequently, there are multi-generational craftsmen for, say, furniture makers in the area. So the land itself called to makers to come here to create from. Now, it wasn't always good. Sometimes it was timber companies that just came and clear cut everything and took all the resources and hauled ass, and the locals didn't get shit.
Yeah.
But there is also that dynamic of the land literally shaping the people in that respect. Like, there are a lot of good craftsmen and artists and stuff in this area because they were drawn because of the resources. On one hand, the hardwoods. On the other hand, for other types of artists, the views. And then for other types of artists, other types of resources that would come with isolated places and stuff like that. Because, there's places around here where there's little salamanders that just live in one valley, or one valley might be a totally different climate than the next one because we're up in the mountains, even though we're in a temperate rainforest, basically. Most of it. And then it has these little enclaves of other things. So there is I believe, an even deeper connectedness that goes back generations, like Chad is talking about. And Rule is just like a modern day living manifestation of it, right? Rule is what is that thing that you'd call like the conduit? Rule is the conduit that connects us to, you know what I mean? Like, I think he's got his roots in deep, and he connects us to it, and then some of us go and put down roots for a little bit, and then we got to go. We got to, like, but we can always come back to Rule because he's grounded.
Well,
But
man,
the land in many ways, it's like we've talked about before. Rich folks used to live inland, and poor folks lived on the coast. That's how it was for centuries. And here in modern times that we live in now, rich people live on the coast because of the views and the activities and all that, and poor folks tend to live inland on Superfund sites and stuff like that. So there is a much deeper meaning. Every town in the United States or around the world is heavily influenced by the environment that it was built in.
yeah, man.
Even navigating the town, like the roads and the way things are done, is often determined by the environment that it's done in. Anyway,
Absolutely agree, man. I think there is a real like deeper connection that we can all find in different walks and different times in our life and where we live. And I mean, I think there's always a deeper connection we can find with it, for sure.
and with the approach that you bring to it, Rule, Ash and Chad both hit on it. I don't know. There's a kind humility, I guess, that comes with it. Now, I know you well enough to know you'll hold somebody accountable. you ain't shy about, you straighten somebody out if it's necessary, but you would much rather just everybody kind of vibe and get along.
Yeah.
So there is that duality there. There is that duality of, brother, we'll hold you accountable now. but
Driftwood
he's
said it
pretty
right.
much
He speaks for
peace-loving
the
dude.
trees.
Yeah, he speaks for the trees. it reminds me of the hobbits, and they're in the tree, in the old tree, and they're trying to convince him to team up with him, and he's like, yeah. And then he walks out into the field, and all his buddies have been cut down, and he's pissed, and it's on. That's real.
These trees were my friends.
Yes. I knew them when they were acorns, and he did. He actually does. So Rule, or is there going to be a big outside garden like you had in Oklahoma eventually here in Western North Carolina that folks like me could go wander around in?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm working on recreating that oasis, that space in my backyard. I've got a really good jump on it right now. It's a young garden, still a lot of work to be done, but I've got big ideas with it, and starting to lay down the foundation for it, and really got some cool things going on. So outside of the world of bonsai, I'm really into landscaping and creating a beautiful gardenscape and kind of an oasis to go and relax in. So definitely, I can't wait to get this thing going on. And I'd love to have you come over again and come take a stroll with me, man. We'll light up the fire pit. We'll sit back,
Heck yeah.
and hang out and have a talk. And I've got a nice little gazebo spot in the back. To sit and chill and see all the plants. So
I might have an idea for us, man. I might have I'm making one for Lady Shine, but I also have an additional set of antique metal bench ends that I, take the wood that I milled or barn wood or whatever, and you've seen some of the ones that I made. So I've got a set of that, but also a lot of the times these caps that I cut off the logs, the piece that's still round, I drill holes, and that's what I made that taper tool for right here, is to be able to put legs on the benches that come out so you can move the bench or whatever. But if you need benches for your garden, that might be something we can collab on. You come over here, we make some pots and stuff, have a design for those. Nice. And then I always like to make benches. I don't know, it's just one of those things I like to do. Sometimes they're just really simple things, but
yeah, I'd love to work on some stuff like that, man. Some garden benches would be cool. A couple of different spots around the garden where you can kind of sit and see a different view of the garden. I love doing stuff like that, man. That'd be cool.
It'd be custom, man. That'd be dope. We can make it happen. We can make it happen, Captain. I love it. What's up, Brandon? How's it going, man? Good to see you. Thank you for coming through. Chad Rev Art. It looks like we're all going to be trying to get to the Atlanta area in September. Rule, that's another thing, man. We got to figure out, dude. I just came from down there. If you want to go down there, I'll be happy to work something out.
Yeah, man. We definitely need to get together on that. I think I got time where we can try to plan that out, man. I'd be willing to go down there. I'd love to meet Essay and see some amazing art and hang out with you, man. That'd be cool. I'd love to make that trip.
Has she dropped the dates yet?
Not yet. I think it's just she said September.
Okay.
And I know that around that time we got to be in Colorado too at some point.
Yeah, that's what I was.
I don't know exactly when, so we might have to double time.
I'll trade an Essay solo show for Tarantula Fest any day.
I bet.
I mean, nothing against doing it right. I love the gallery, but the Tarantula Fest part I can probably do without.
Oh, look at this, dude! Oh. Is that a jade plant?
This is a willow tree.
Oh, wow!
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
More miniature willow. This thing only gets about a foot tall at maturity, so this thing stays really, really small.
That is cool.
And I gotta have the Zen frog in there and a little mushroom.
Yeah.
Is that what's the bowl? Is that bowl
It's
stone or wood?
it's a wooden bowl. You know,
Wow.
I got a little bit crafty with this. I found this at like Ross. You know, you just the little fruit bowls and things like that that they have available there, cheap. You know, it's like $6, something like that. Drilled some holes in the bottom and turned it into a cool little bonsai pot.
Dude. You're something else, man. I love it. I love it. Well, there were a few people that asked, and I believe I know the answer to this unless something changed, and it may have. But there was a few people that asked if do you sell your bonsai trees, or is there a place that people can go get them, or is this an exclusive? Like he's got to give you one for you to kill it.
I'm still convinced that Gen's trying to kill the bonsai so he can make a guitar out of it. I don't know.
Oh my goodness, dude! I want so badly for this tree to be okay, man. You have no idea. That plant that's in that painting that Essay did. That's another thing I was going to mention. You know, the personal connection to plants. Almost all of the plants that my wife and I have were given to us by friends at some point. Or we happen to go pick up like a hosta somewhere that we liked, and then it's multiplied so many times or whatever. But I don't even know and she will tell me each year what they are, but I don't even know the real names of most of the plants. I just know that the Robert plant came from my Uncle Robert, and the Tina plant that is actually a Rose of Sharon. Those came from my friend Tina. So literally,
Rose
I don't
of Sharon,
half the
good
time
song.
know what actually it is, but there is that. They mean something to me because they came from people that mean something to me.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense at all.
Well, if you kill the one he gave to you, I'm going to do a micro carving on it.
Dude, it's got it does have fresh new greenery coming out. It's got some pretty little growth.
I like it. I like it.
I've
But-
seen there are some species that you can carve while they're alive, and the problem is as they grow really big, it starts to distort. But like if we did a collab and you keep it small, we could do something really cool.
Yeah, you know the other thing that came to my mind as y'all were
Yeah, I never
Bullshit.
carved a live tree.
That would be really, really cool, man. Yeah.
Dude, we got to get together on that.
Yeah, I'll have
Or-
to like how we could work that out, man. That'd be awesome.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
going to switch up for just a second. Just hear me out here. Just a second.
just hear me out.
But you could take a piece like this locust that I just thought was interesting and carve voids in it to where you could have plants growing out of stuff. I'm just using it as an example. What I'm saying is you could, like where you're at, Chad, you could grab all kind. You could go find cool little gnarly elbow pieces or crotch pieces and turn those into
Yeah,
planters. And then carve like part of it and then leave the other part of it as the planter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be really, really sick right there, man.
that would
So it'd be like a
cool.
multi-tiered bonsai.
Dude, no, get out of here. I might have something for you already, dude. I have a big piece of limb from a tree that came down here on my farm that is riddled with woodpecker nests.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. I like it.
Perfect, dude.
Car-
Yes.
carving in between and like tie that all together, and then we could do some plants. Oh man,
Yeah.
that would
You
be
could almost plant right out of the nest itself.
yeah. I like it.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Well,
And-
we got to do some talking about that and about carving something live.
Yeah, that'd be
And
cool.
I've-
Man. We got to do
I've
that.
got a-
That sounds awesome.
Couple little wren's nests, too, for your rule. So you can put a bird's nest in your tree, man. The other idea that I always have when I see your bonsais, and this might be a no-go, is little tiny tree houses. Build a little tree house to put in your. I think those would be so cool, man. Like
That would be
just
killer.
neat little wooden tree houses, and they could be painted or they could be whatever. But
I
you
like
know that would,
Sit them
That'd
up
be
in
dope.
there.
yeah.
Little rope ladder hanging down.
Yeah, dude, you get it. Yeah, or a fire pole or whatever. You know what I mean?
Dude.
Little
A tire swing.
little tire
Little tire
swing.
swing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Dude. Man, if I
Be
carved
awesome.
one of them, we could carve a pot and the tree to match.
Yes. Yes.
Good night, MC.
Dude,
You're amazing, man.
I think we're on to something, man.
Yeah.
Steve, take care, my friend. Appreciate you being here.
What?
man.
Hey, buddy.
One way or the other, I'm gonna figure out how to do a collaboration that where we're combining the art and the bonsai and the woodworking, and I think it would be cool, man. Like even
We gotta
tall
find out
pieces
what
that were
can-
like the height of maybe a hat stand or something like that, that had 4 or 5 stations on it. You know, bonsai trees, and you could even include some viney type trees or something, you know, that might want to cling to it a little bit or something. I don't know, man. It's just so many possibilities. Good night, MC. Good night, man.
Yeah, you could do
Appreciate
like
you, sir.
some wisteria, like do like
Oh yes.
a vining wisteria, man, where it would circle around and vine up that branch or whatever it is
Oh.
right there. And then you'd have those flower blooms hanging off. Oh man, that'd be so freaking amazing.
Oh.
And I've got some
Dude.
dogwoods and some, you know, we could bonsai those. I've got several little redbud trees would be cool for something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we could start them from scratchy scratch and then get them to you know,
Figure out what
the-
will survive.
the expert down there.
Yeah.
And then yeah, man. That
What
would
will
be
survive carving and still keep trucking
dope.
for
And
you.
I'll
if we
do
only
some
did a
research on that, Chad, we'll look into that, man, because I think some of the conifers can really lend into that, because I've actually seen in some of the bonsai practices where they go in and take like half of the trunk and they'll strip the bark and the face of that trunk off to leave the cambium layer exposed underneath, and then they'll let that wood die off, and then so it looks like, you know, maybe a tree that was struck with lightning or something like that to kind of recreate that feeling. But then you'd have that exposed wood that you could do a carving on within that living tree would just be absolutely amazing.
I've got that
Yes.
on my bonsai. That Japanese maple has that big open section on it
Yes.
that I was trying to show today. Dude, that's an amazing
Yeah,
idea,
dude.
Chad.
We got to do this, homie. It'll
Yeah.
be cool.
Good, man. Sounds good. We'll come up with some cool stuff. We'll get some ideas flowing. Figure out just the right plant for it.
I just got a tiny detail set from Cutsall too, so that's perfect.
Nice. Nice.
Little bitty work.
All right, and plant containers, and then you also give us a couple container gardening tips before you go.
All right. Well, you know, I grow a lot of things in different kinds of pots. So when I'm into gardening as well, and it kind of lends into that idea of container gardening, because not all of us have the space to do a huge garden. I live in a neighborhood, so I don't have a ton of space for that kind of thing. So it got me into container gardening, growing my tomatoes, my pepper plants, things like that, all in containers. And the great thing about it is you know, you can start your gardens a little bit earlier because you can move them in and out. I have a garage area that if it gets too cold, I can bring them into the garage and protect them from frost and things like that. So that's one of the benefits of container gardening. You can start a little bit earlier, and you can get a better crop out of your tomatoes and peppers and things like that. But yeah, I mean, it kind of lends into both of those worlds where you can take your landscape plants and grow them in containers. You can take your vegetables, your fruits. I mean, I've got blueberry bushes in containers out there as well, strawberries. We love to get into gardening. My wife is really into it. She spends a lot of time out there taking care of the garden.
Is she still awake?
She is still awake upstairs, I bet. Yeah.
Right on. She said she'd go stop in for a visit if she could stay awake. She might be cheering you on still, man. She might be cheering you on.
Might still be cheering me on. But yeah, man. So it's really cool. Like the world of like container gardening and growing different kinds of plants in containers is really cool because if they become mobile and and you can move them around in different parts of your garden. Like this red Japanese maple that I have here in this pot. I like to take it out by my gazebo sometimes, and sometimes I'll put it up on the front porch where depending on where I'm hanging out in the garden where I'm going to be spending more time, I like to bring different trees around and I have them in different pots, and it's a cool way to just kind of change the scenery around you. Sometimes I've got a green Japanese maple that I like to move around. So it's a cool way to just kind of have mobile plants to put in different places around your garden.
I love it, man. I love it. Well, we got Chad's got to put his daughter to bed normally around this time, and I know Rule has to be up in like 3 hours to get to work because he works all the time building maple empires.
You got to be up before the plants.
Yeah, he's got to be up before the plants. And Ashman has flown all the way to Andromeda. I mean, all the way to another planet and back with the medication.
Thanks for getting that
necessary
prescription, though, for me, Ash.
yeah.
Oh, no problem.
Appreciate
It
that.
is they have the most convoluted prescription program ever. Like all kinds of paperwork. Then they had to send a representative to check Chad out. Then they had to send a representative to connect with Ash to get the spaceship ready to go get this. Man, it's been a long week. So glad you made it. Glad you made it, Chad.
Thanks, Freak, man. I appreciate you. Eve, appreciate you. You guys are awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, man. Shout out all your folks in the chat for sure, man. There's a bunch of them.
There's a bunch of people in there showing me love, man. I appreciate all of you guys. You're amazing, and keep doing what you do. I love going and hanging out with Eve, man. She cracks me up. Always keeps me smiling. She's always working on something cool. Her and MC are always hanging out, painting something. Today they were painting some beautiful mountain scenery, and I'm like, hey, man, that reminds me of home. I live in the mountains, so I'm all about that. So it's cool, man. I love just the diversity of our community, man. So many different people that bring so many cool aspects to and it keeps me inspired. That's what I love about it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And these two guys right here, pretty inspirational as well, to be honest with you. I hate for Chad Tate to get too big, but it's and Ashman selling artwork again at the General Wright Art Gallery. Congratulations.
Yeah,
to
congrats,
Ashman
dude.
Selling that piece. Severed Art also sold a piece.
Yeah.
Crimson
Ooh.
Rose also sold some art and has postcards available at the local drugstore there now, which is amazing. So if we keep working hard and supporting each other, we'll keep creating opportunities or finding opportunities. Sometimes we got to make them. Sometimes we got to find them.
Oh, yeah.
But Ashman is leading the way, man. That piece that you sold, dude, I'm kind of sad because I really
Beautiful
liked
piece.
it, man. And, yeah, I'm glad it's staying in the family, at least indirectly.
Yeah.
You
And
too,
then,
Chuck.
I will have
Any-
I will have more prints available at General Wright soon.
Are you
Sorry,
out?
Mama T. Not of everything, but some of them. So yes, I am going
Nice.
to send more prints very soon.
So my signed ones just got even more valuable then. That's awesome. Thanks, Chad. Thanks for making me rich, Chad. I appreciate it. Anybody got any questions for Rule? Anybody got any comments for Rule? Rule, what's your favorite color, buddy?
Green, man.
Green. If y'all would,
yeah.
please drop some green hearts in the chat. We're gonna give it a little time to do that. Please show some love and throw some green hearts in the chat for our guy Rule, and get some screenshots of that if we could. And
Nice, Eve.
let me see if I can find them right here. Here we go.
Rule, cut
Thank
that
you,
out.
everyone.
Cut that out.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone.
This is your show, homie.
Appreciate y'all. Yes, Rule. You ain't supposed
We
to be
give
doing
you.
that, man. You're supposed to be chilling. So, big thank you to Real Gardens for coming on, teaching us some stuff about trees and about ourselves, to be honest with you. And
Yes.
big thanks to Ashman. Ashman has a show on Wednesday nights. It's called Ashman's Basic Art Show. You can catch it at 7 o'clock Central Time.
Anything but
Chad Rev Art.
basic.
I'm sorry, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. My bad. 7 o'clock Eastern Time. And you can catch Chad Rev Art on. You better turn your notifications because he's on every once in a while, especially when he hadn't been feeling so great. So get them
And I
notifications.
might have a new medium about to come out, so y'all get ready for that. Oh, it's about to get crazy. It's gonna be fun.
You going to bring your mind reader out? Is that what's going to happen?
Stop
You
it.
said you're going to be a
Y'all-
new medium? Oh, man. I
I'm
think
gonna
you
be a
just
new
gave...
medium.
Rural Gardens, you are an absolute class act, sir. The world is a better place because you exist in it. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, my friend, consigliere, collaborator, and generally all around good dude, man. Appreciate you,
Speaker
brother.
for the
Thank you
trees.
for taking the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. And like I said, man, anytime you need anything, just I'm always here. And you just hit me up anytime, man. I love just hanging out with you guys and the collaboration ideas. I think is super cool. Chad, we got to get together on some of that. Again, we got to get together, and then we got to get some piece to get Ash. I need some more of his artwork. I actually picked up a piece of his. He sent me some art, and I'm excited. I need to get it framed up and get it on my wall, man. I'm excited about it because I remember him drawing it that day. And I was like, dude, this is so freaking crazy. It's like when Mickey Mouse had a bad day, Ash captured it, man.
Yes.
Ash was there.
How about this? How about the little tree houses in the doorway or the window have Ashman with one of his little creatures
I like it.
looking out the window or standing in the doorway or whatever. So we have to make the little tree house, then send it to Ash, and then Ash can paint his shit on there, and then we send that to Rule. Rule puts it in the tree, and then we got it all. We got it covered.
Hey, what did we say on that one, Ash? What a hot dog day or something?
On a hot dog day.
Hot dog. What's up, Cajun?
Y'all, Cajun, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Long time no see. And if you're not familiar with Jason Woodward, who just jumped in here, please
What up,
give that
Jason?
man a follow. He is one hell of a guitar player. Good dude.
Mama T, thank you.
He is on the way home from Dallas, I believe. Hopefully he will get home safely. Make sure
Nice.
to check out our pal over there at the Jenner Wright Art Gallery, Zach Gardner, and his carvings and Mama T. I would highly encourage you to go check out Jason Woodward if you get a chance to do that. And thank you, Stitch. Good to see you. Thanks, everybody, for being in here. That's another Gin Project show. We had our main man Rule Gardens on here, Chad Rev Art, and the Ashman. We appreciate everybody coming in. Thanks to everybody for being here. We really appreciate y'all. Check that out, man. Check that out.
Beauty.
Beautiful.
All right, then. Peace out, y'all.
Heard
Later.
Peace out, everybody. Heard that, Cajun? I'm glad you're okay, man. Ash and I are on late night Wednesday nights, or you can catch us on Big O Monday and Friday, and Saturday afternoons at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. You can catch me on with Severed Art, usually SA Artistries or
Oh,
Chad or
yeah.
Ash or some of these people come by, and Rule. So that's what I know about that. Thursday night, Low Orbit Lounge. Later, everybody.
Later, everybody.
Appreciate y'all. If I missed your name, please forgive me. I was trying to hit everybody. Barbara, I'll see you. Bye.